John Cena, Undertaker stuff going on, but the real story I want to ask about is what do you rather see, the Deadman or the American Badass? It's either the conversation that's been going on. Dad, what are you thinking here? Deadman, American Badass versus John Cena at WrestleMania.
I think I want to see the American Badass only for one reason, is if you put Kid Rock in the Hall of Fame and you have Kid Rock play, I mean, especially if you're playing a theme and the next thing you know, you got the American Badass coming down the ramp, I think that's going to be more of an impact than having the Deadman come out.
Jason, where do you stand on this?
I'm a Deadman guy. I think, the American Badass was, I think there's a lot of fans out there who have that nostalgia. It wasn't like this great time in Undertaker's career. And look, if this were a few years ago and we knew we had more Undertaker matches to come at WrestleMania, I'd be open to it. But I don't want the final image of Undertaker to be American Badass. I'd rather have it be the Deadman. But, Mark might be onto something. It does seem like there's a lot of hardcore fan interest, but I do wonder how many casual fans out there are going to be like, the American Badass, I don't remember this. Something, I just wonder what the reaction is going to be from that fan base and if they're going to be disappointed. It's just the iconic entrance that I want to see. It's not Undertaker riding a motorcycle to the ring. So that's just me.
That's true. I'm in the middle. As much as the Deadman, I think I hate to say this, it's going to be blasphemous for people listening. I'm kind of over a lot of things lately, and Taker's one of those things I'm kind of over. I thought he was over. I thought it was done. I really thought after last year it was done. And now here we are doing this again. And I don't want to see it, I guess. And I guess it's something different. And we are going to be with Kid Rock. And much like last year, the year before, we had Snoop Dogg singing out Sasha Banks. And that made sense. For those, by the way, the younger audience listening, I know we have a younger audience to this show, and that don't know the song American Badass, that everyone talks about, everyone's bringing it up, it was brought up in the Kid Rock package. I don't even know who Kid Rock is. A lot of people actually ask me, who the hell's Kid Rock? Like, I actually got that question from some people. I was looking up stuff for the show today, and I'm like, you know what? I had this here, and I was just going to do a quick snippet, but then I was like, holy fuck, I forgot how crazy Kid Rock was. So, here's a little bit of the classic that you will definitely not hear this at WrestleMania in a couple of weeks, American Badass.
American Badass, watch me kick. You can roll with rock or you can suck my dick. I'm a porno flick, I'm like Amazing Grace. I'm gonna fuck some hoes after I rock this place. Super fly, living double wide, sidecar my glide, so don't see can ride. Full sacks to share, bringing flash and flare. Got the long hair, swinging middle finger in the air.
Because nothing says PG WWE like Kid Rock.
Wait a minute. I just thought of something. CM Punk's new theme music.
Oh, my God.
I went there, yes.
Until this morning. I hadn't heard that song in a long time. I forgot about that entire bridge.
But
holy crap.
But Jason was talking about nostalgia with the Deadman. Here's something. Why don't you have Ted DiBiase walk in front of him and bring him out?
Just for one time only? One more time?
Yeah. If you want to go to nostalgia, do it that way.
I almost expect DiBiase to be the one that ducks him into the Hall of Fame because obviously Barry's not here to do it.
Right.
I can see that happen.
I can see that 100%.
Unless they want to have Glenn Jacobs do it. I don't know.
or Vince McMahon himself. That for someone like Undertaker, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Or you can have Shawn Michaels.
True.
Or Steve Austin.
Yeah.
True. Shawn Michaels makes the most sense, too, because they do have my favorite WrestleMania match of all time, WrestleMania 25.
Yeah.
That is my favorite match of all time, WrestleMania. So, okay, one more thing here. Nia Jax-Alexia Bliss. There's been a lot of talk about this storyline. And actually, I have to thank Wade Keller for reading my email last Thursday on the flagship show and bringing up the conversation. I actually got him to finally say, because it really was annoying me that he kept saying Nia Jax is a big girl. The actual terminology is plus size, That is the terminology. If you're going to be politically correct about it, you got to say the right term. I love this storyline. I love this. And maybe look at the fact that I can relate as a big person. My wife is like watching this and almost like in tears watching this storyline because she can relate 100%. Jason, your thoughts on the whole Nia Jax-Alexia Bliss bullying storyline right now?
You know, if the talents are comfortable with it, I'm comfortable with it because, look, Alexa Bliss is a heel. Heels are not supposed to be PC, and obviously there's a line there that you don't want to cross that we've seen wrestling companies cross too many times. But with this, yeah, it may, they want to get under your skin. They want to make Nia Jax look sympathetic. And I just assume that in the end, when the storyline is played out, Nia is going to embrace, her size and is going to overcome. It's just, look, if we apply, again, there's a fine line there. I'm not saying you need to cross into certain areas that they really shouldn't. With this, the fat shaming and all that people talk about, I look, if you want to live in this utopian world, wrestling is going to be awfully boring because heels need something to go after.
True.
Places, and I don't know. I mean, look, if we find out Nia Jax is horrified by this and they're picking on her like they did Mickie James years ago with the Piggy James stuff, then my attitude changes. But if she is comfortable with it, I'm comfortable with it. And I don't know. I think people get a little too concerned with the beginning of a story rather than seeing it actually, play itself out.
I guess I'm actually more okay because I know the two of them are so close. Like Alexa and Nia in the real world are like best friends. So I could see them sitting down saying, you could say this, you could say this, you could say this. And that makes me a lot more comfortable watching it knowing how close they are in the real world.
Well, just to play devil's advocate, though, I mean, look, Rey Mysterio took part in the angle where Randy Orton, brought up Eddie Guerrero's death.
So true.
To me, that was crossing the line. And Rey Mysterio, obviously, was one of Eddie's best friends. They weren't comfortable with it. Neither guy was. So, I mean, that's why I just kind of leave the door open. I think you're right. I would be surprised if this is bothering Nia Jax. But you leave the door open ever so slightly because this company has been crass with things like this in the past.
All right. And finally, the one thing that almost got buried after yesterday, Ultimate Deletion happened Monday night. And I made sure Dad sat with me and watched this because I knew we were going to be talking about it on this week's show.
Oh, my God.
Well, I may have lost you guys again.
Okay, so Dad, what are your thoughts on Ultimate Deletion?
The only thing I can say...
You're back.
All I can say is... it's better watching it after you've had a few in you. I mean, Nick, because
I loved it.
It's so totally off the wall in every sense of the way that it's so, what's the word? Cartoon caricature, sure, but I think that's what he wanted.
Yeah, exactly. It was so over the top.
And like I said, if you had a couple in you, then you kind of go, I get it. But
I thought it was fun. I thought it wasn't what TNA did, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I thought it was fun. A little Roadrunner-ish at one point. Like, it really felt like a Roadrunner cartoon at one point.
With the little the signs, the
gray signs, the graveyard signs. That was
yeah.
a little Roadrunner-ish. I thought that was a little over, but much for me. I
thought
it was
to go
fun.
way back, Benny Hill-like.
Oh, good call.
Yeah,
Benny Hill, good call. It just felt so animated. Like, that was like animated.
The only thing you were missing is the Benny Hill music. That was it.
Pretty much. But overall, I thought it was fun, and I liked the ending. I liked the whole world in his hands, and it kind of tied everything together from, like, WrestleMania 30 to now. Like, it really tied everything together. And hopefully this means we're done. We're done with this version of Bray Wyatt. Jason, your thoughts?
Yeah, okay, Bray Wyatt is terrible as far as what they've done with him creatively. I think he's a very talented guy. My big thing is just knock off the hocus pocus stuff. That's a Vince McMahon thing. He loves that kind of stuff. He's not the next Undertaker. That's not him. I've always seen Bray as being more of a, if you're going to compare him to anybody, the next Jake Roberts, the smartest guy in the room. And I think there's a lot of things you can do with that character if you make him the smartest person and the master manipulator. He's the guy who's just kind of, he's the puppet master, and there's a way to write him. I don't know that we've really seen WWE be sophisticated enough to pull off that type of thing. They seem to reserve the slot of being the smartest people in the company seem to be reserved for Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. But I think you could do some of that type of stuff with Bray Wyatt. But the Ultimate Deletion, I thought it was good, not great. I think it was a mistake to show all of the returning characters, your Senior Benjamins and Matt's whole family, and even Vanguard 1 and all of that. Because those of us who remember from the TNA days, had we not known that was coming, and it was just, hey, you're going to see Ultimate Deletion, you're going to be sitting there going, okay, but are they, what's going to happen? Are they going to have the family in this? Or are they not? And it would have felt like a cool surprise. I mean, you would have known there was a possibility, but by showing them in advance, so any surprise factor was gone. It was just like, okay, they're expected. And they didn't have any fun cameos. I think they went overboard. Probably the last one they did in TNA with maybe too many cameos. But to not have any other than Jeff just kind of popping up for a second, I thought that was disappointing. I'm hoping we get more though. But I don't know. I think it depends on how well this does on social media. I think is going to be the key to whether, they pay so close attention to those numbers. And if people are really excited about this, well, maybe Vince gives them another one. I hope he does.
Well, Ultimate Deletion, I was on my Twitter account literally minutes before Daniel Bryan. And on Twitter, before Daniel Bryan happened, Ultimate Deletion was the top talked about thing. Still.
Nice.
In the afternoon on Tuesday before the Daniel Bryan news broke. So that says something, a lot. That was still talked about.
Maybe the fact, at least a little of it may be due to the fact that they didn't include it on Hulu. The Hulu cut of Raw is 90 minutes, and for whatever reason they excluded that. I'm probably giving them too much credit, but if the plan was, let's leave it off of Hulu, we're getting paid by Hulu regardless. Let's make, those people that they don't get to see the show, well, hopefully they'll go to YouTube.
Yeah,
and we'll get even more social media numbers off of this, but I don't know.
Yeah, it is on YouTube in full for those who didn't see it and want to see it and wonder what the hell we're talking about. It's definitely all there for you to watch.
It should be on the network, too, correct?
No, it's not on the network because it was on Raw.
Okay.
It's on Raw. So
all
the
right.
network Raws they usually put Raw on the network for like 2 months.
Okay.
So usually like a 2 or 3 month window because of the Hulu thing.
Right.
It's like about 2 or 3 months, then
But
it'll go up.
I would think that would be one of the hooks that you can use.
You can see Ultimate Deletion.
Right. But the thing is, that cameo with Jeff Hardy.
Well, the nice surprise.
That's kind of like an ambiguous.
Brother Nero.
Right, I'm sorry, Brother Nero. But that's kind of like an ambiguous cue. Will he show up? Won't he show up? And after the current personal things.
Well, keep in mind, this was before the DUI. They
Correct.
filmed it before the DUI.
Correct.
So they keep that in mind.
Right.
So
But they could have easily edited it out too. He's at the Performance Center. We've been talking about this in .NET Weekly for a while. Like he's there this week, and if all goes according to plan, he'll be medically cleared this week as well. There's some hurdles. They've got some sort of regimen that people have to go through in order to be cleared, and he's going through that process now. And so, yeah, if there were issues stemming from the DUI arrest, then I think they easily could have, deleted him.
I see what you did there.
The ultimate deletion. Hey, that's kind of.
Delete.
One thing I want to say for those who we're talking about Bray Wyatt's character now. I've been watching old NXT, like original Full Sail NXT. As I'm working on something, but I'm watching old NXT and watching the original Bray Wyatt videos, the original ones. I'm like, where is this guy? Like, where is this Bray Wyatt? It's like, this is amazing to watch back in the day.
What does it call him? The Ferrari and a tank body?
No, he's just Bray Wyatt, and he's in a forest, and he doesn't even have the Wyatt family yet, and he's just like being a freaky son of a bitch, really, back in 2012, and it was like, wow, this is a completely different person than the guy that does magic tricks and puts bugs on the bugs on the friggin' ring in WrestleMania. Like, it was a completely different person.
Why can't we make Bray Wyatt like more of a mountain man?
Because that's not the Bray Wyatt person. That's Husky Harris. You're thinking of Husky Harris.
So why don't we just, like we're doing Mounted Man, and he doesn't agree with some of the stuff the government says and does?
What do you think? We're going to bring back Zeb Coulter as well? What are you doing here?
Why not? Why not? Generate some nice heat.
We have one more thing we got to get to, and thank you, Daniel Bryan, for really giving us more to talk about today. Because really, when I was getting rid of this red sheet, I'm like, wow, this is going to be a short preview. So here we go.